Hi there, it's Tina at Tina Stitches. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel primarily about cross stitch. Sometimes you'll see some other crafts, but it's not very likely for the next while anyways, because I have no other crafty plans. There are other things that I should work on, but you know, that's how it goes. Today is Monday, July 3rd. I have the day off because we have Canada Day on Saturday, and our company decided to take Monday off in lieu of the stat holiday instead of Friday. It just worked out. Other factors were considered when making that decision. So anyways, I have today off. So I have a little bit of extra time to film a video. And it's been 2 weeks since my last video. I want to say thank you for coming back. Thank you for stopping in and checking me out. Hopefully you like what you see. I don't have a lot of whips to share this time because I was pretty focused on 2 projects, and I have a third one that I started a couple months ago perhaps, and I didn't share it because I'm still not sure about the colorway. But I did do a little bit more work on that, so I will show that. I have a little bit of something going on with my throat, so I may have to stop now and then and take a drink of water. I should have brought a lozenge up, but so I'm going to go through this without notes. So if I had notes about anything, we'll see if I can remember them. Yeah. Yesterday morning I did a Zoom meetup. I joined a Zoom meetup with Amy and Gail, and we had a good time. I had a little bit of technical difficulty. You know, that's to be expected when your computer is not very reliable. So this should be a fairly short video, and yeah, I have just 3 whips, no haul. I only put like 5 beads onto the Christmas Eve Courier, so don't think you need to see that one again. Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out which one to show you first. Also, I have a blast from the past that I will bring closer in a little bit, but so the first one I'm going to share is the one that I've been sharing every week. I stitch on this almost every morning in my 20 to 30 minutes that I have before I go to work, and on my mornings on the weekends it gets about maybe 2 hours, maybe more, depending on how lazy I am, you know, how motivated I am to go do chores. This is a stitching shelf by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Here's what it will look like when it's finished, and here's where it was when you last saw it, and here's where we're at now. So what I've done is I've moved the Q-snap. This is where I was working the last session. You know, for the last few months I've been working in this area, and now I've moved it so I can work on the shelf below because the first day of spring was June 21st, so you know what the heck, let's change up the season. So this one is fall. Top one is spring, summer, so we're into the fall shelf. I've just basically filled in as much as I can here to make sure that I am not off by anything as far as counting goes. I do not want to have to frog an entire shelf. So I'm pretty confident that where this is good, and I've brought it down. And I think I'm just going to focus in this area, just spreading my way into this. I use a method of my own, which is semi-typewriter style. Normally I would do typewriter style on a full coverage, but I started in the middle with this and I'm just radiating out. So that's where it's at now. I stitch as far as I'm comfortable, and then I park, and then I get tired of all the park threads, and then I work them in. Once I'm comfortable with the amount of stitching around them, that it's not going to be a problem. So that's my method. That's how I stitch full coverage. I'm happy with it. So here's where we are. I started this August 12th, 2022 with Carolyn Zook from Zook Stitch, Kim from Stitch and Stuff, and a bunch of other people, and we have a Facebook group, Stitching Shelf Sal, where you can see the progress of many other people who have been stitching on this. Notably, Linda has been posting a lot of progress pictures. She is way ahead of us. But yeah, here's where we're at. Now, the next one that I have to show, I am very happy with the progress that I've got. I've been working on this for the last two and a half weeks, pretty much monogamously in the evenings. There's been a few evenings where I didn't have a chance to stitch because, you know, family showed up or whatever, what have you, life. This is my Chatelaine. This is Royal Tudor Mandala by Chatelaine. I am stitching this on 32 count white opalescent. This is where it was when you last saw it. And this is what it's supposed to look like when it's finished. And if you remember, I had made a goal to have a section done every month, and I had detailed what those, like, certain areas per month. It's not a stitch count, it's just this general zone, etc. But here's where we're at. So if I was sticking to that plan, I would do the blue curtain as one month and this black work as the next month. But I do like doing them in tandem, just because you get sick of the blue, go on to black work, get sick of the black work, go on to the blue. So it's fun seeing it grow like this, because I would get so far with the blue and be like, okay, let's bring the black work over to match. And so that's what I did. And then the other night, I think it was last night, I was like too tired to really do much stitching, so I just put the straight line of gray stitches in. And that's where that's at. None of this was on here the last time you saw it, if I remember right. Maybe a little bit of this corner here and coming up here. This might have been started, but yeah, great progress. I am on a roll with this. I still want to work on it. So this is the only project that I brought downstairs and have sitting at my stitchy spot. And I found that by having it done that way, if I want to pick something up, it's like, oh, well, this is the only thing that's here, so pick it up. Start working on it and get into a rhythm and keep going. And if I have more than one project there, I might opt for the other project instead of this one, which I do have another project that I really do want to get working on. I have so many projects that I really want to get working on, but this is one of the oldest ones, and I think I really do need to focus on it more than I had been. And maybe to get, because I know I did not get last month's goal, so by doing this, maybe once I get all of this finished, I'll trade out to the other project, which is Dressmaker's Daughter, which I have sitting right here because I didn't move it from the last time I did a video. Well, I did a little bit of stitching on it because the chart's attached, but yeah, that's actually upside down. So that's where it's at for Dressmaker's Daughter. I just need to bring the winter dress down. Like, this is all that's left for the cross stitch in this whole piece. So this and Royal Tudor Mandala are the two things that I really want to focus on. Finish those pieces at least. I really want to bring out Poppy Girl, a girl in a poppy field, but you know, there's so many things that I love all the projects that I'm working on. So I'm sure you can all relate. You want to work on them all, but these ones that are, they're not my oldest whip, because if you've been with me for any length of time, you know I have Christmas Eve Couriers on the go, and I'm slowly working those into finishes. Let's see. Okay, so this last project that I have to share is one that I won off of Sarah, our Stitching Kingdom. She had a giveaway a few months ago, might even be a year now, and it was for HL Moth by Kathy Barrick, and I won it, and it came with a set of threads for a conversion, and I thought I would do the conversion. So if you have a look at that, it's very delicate taupes and pinks and some browns. And I mean, come on, pink, right? Well, here are the threads. I'm just pulling them out of the bag here. Here are the threads that came in the conversion. So there are pinks. And here's my start. So I'm stitching this on 32 count driftwood linen, Belfast linen, by Swigart. I have a big piece. Yeah, Swigart. I'm sorry if you can hear all of the rustling. I am trying a new microphone. I might be able to edit some in post-production editing. But yeah, if you look at this, and then you look at this, it's like, it's not even close. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Honestly, what I had thought about doing was putting the pattern up here on the shelf and just stitching it the way it's charted, because it does look like a moth. I mean, it will look like a moth. It just won't be the pastel-y pink and red one. So I'm also wondering if there was a I don't know. Like, I was wondering if they were maybe not matched up correctly. So, yeah. So that was it. 2 whips, a new start, and that's all that I worked on. Plans. I do have something planned for a new start for in 2 weeks' time. I'm going to be starting this. I believe she's still going to be starting this zipper. This is a black and white copy. Do I have a cover page? I'm sure I have a cover page. There it is. I'm going to be starting Queen of Hearts by Owl Forest Embroidery. Sarah at Our Stitching Kingdom, who I just mentioned, also had this as a kit. She was able to get the kit version. I did not, was not able, but I did get the floss pack from Owl Forest pre-Ukraine, and I have a piece of fabric, 28 count mellow cashel linen, that I believe will be the right size. So this is going to be started in 2 weeks' time. If anybody else has this and needs an excuse to start, there you go. July 15th, Queen of Hearts Sal. Well, I'm not. Maybe I can come up with a hashtag. I'm not good at that. And I barely ever keep on top of it. So, Sarah, if you're still going to stitch it, July 15th, we're starting. Okay, I'm just going to pause for a minute, take a drink, and bring that closer. Okay, so from the bin of shame, of which I have many, many unfinished, unframed projects. Mostly unframed because I do a lot of my own finishing, so there's not a lot of smalls in there. It's almost exclusively things that I want to be framed. Things like Mirabilias, XJudeDesigns, those larger type projects that deserve a frame. I was just thinking a hanger might be better for this. I'll pause and be right back. Okay, so I found a hanger so that it'll be a little bit easier, I think, to show this. So this is Circle of Friends by Mirabilia. I don't have my start and stop date specifics for you. Oh wait, there is a date on here. 2016? It's right over here, very faintly stitched in. So, I have two sisters, and anything that has 3 girls in it, I am drawn to. So, when I saw this, I immediately bought it, kitted it up, and stitched it as soon as possible. Now, I stitched it on chocolate. I think it's 28 count chocolate. Lugana, so it's not Belfast. I think it's Lugana. I'm horrible at my fabric types, in case you haven't noticed. But yeah, maybe I'll do this side by side. So here is my stitched version, and here is the pattern cover. So you will notice that my flowers here are not the pink fuchsia flowers that are in the design. And the reason for that, one, I thought that they looked a little weird, out of place, and the other is twofold. 2 reasons. My grandfather had passed away not long before I finished this, my maternal grandfather, and he had a favorite flower. Okay, now as they were making arrangements for the funeral, my aunts had suggested getting daisies for his procession, for one of the arrangements, and my uncle flew off the handle. Oh yeah, sure, that's funny, pushing up daisies, ha ha ha. And so they dropped it. And then after getting to the flower store and looking at the arrangements, he picked out daisies. And they're like, those are daisies. And he's like, no, they're not. They're like, yes, those are daisies. So, oh, these were his favorite flowers. They're like, yeah, we know. That's why we wanted to do that. So I have a funny story about daisies. Now, I didn't make the centers yellow. They are beads. They are a Magnifica bead it's Magnifica, so it's a few shades of antique gold. But yeah, the other reason is because I have a brooch from my paternal grandmother which had a yellow flower, an off-white flower with a bejeweled center. So this is my Circle of Friends by Mirabilia. And the reason I pulled it out is because Amy from Mimi's Stitchery has this in her stash, I believe. Honestly, I found this one quite easy to work up because it is a lot of block stitching. And if you notice, I was very frugal with my fabric, and I did a center start, hoping and praying that I had enough fabric, and I got very close to not enough. Which is why I left this fabric on, which was originally sewn on to attach to my scroll frames. That's why I left it on, so that it could be used for stretching purposes when it eventually gets framed. But yeah, it's so pretty. So there's that. Those little loops on the bottom I just had on there for weights. Whenever I have anything stored for long periods of time, such as the finish aim, I roll it. I never fold my finishes. I don't want to have to wash and try to press that out again. But yeah. So it was kind of stuck in the rolled shape, so those were just there for weights. But I really don't have any wall space for finishing into framing finishes, but one day a few choice pieces will get framed and hung up, and I think that would be one of them for sure. So I have another start kind of planned, but at the moment I'm not really feeling the need to start a whole lot of projects. I would like to get my goals done on those Dressmaker's Daughter and Royal Tudor Mandala. I'll probably put a little start on the Queen of Hearts. We'll see how I feel about the moth. And so maybe next time you'll see something else, but I'm hoping you will see Royal Tudor Mandala, Dressmaker's Daughter, close to their goals of being finished. It's not that far off if I focus on them. And I have 9 more days of work left, and then I'm off for 2 weeks. So then I can stitch on more stuff, maybe start more stuff. I mean, definitely the first day I'm off, I'm starting Queen of Hearts, so. Anyways, I've chatted on long enough. Quickie is laying on the floor being very nice. She's having a very hard time with the heat. So normally today's been a bit cooler than it was yesterday. Yesterday she didn't want to be upstairs at all. She wanted to be down in the main floor in the cool, on the cool wood floors down there. So yeah, I think that's all there is to share with you this time. So until next time, which should be in about 2 weeks, I'm hoping. I am contemplating a whip parade and perhaps a shame parade, because honestly, there's things in the cabinet over there that should be put in a bin of shame. Make room in the cabinet for more finished pieces to be rolled up and put aside. So, yeah, until next time, take care of each other. Take care of yourself. Try to get some stitching in. Bye.